look, the seminar business is an investment in yourself and your time and your business. However, it will pay off. Like, even if you are terrible at public speaking or you fart on stage or pick your nose, there are still going to be people that want to meet with you. And that's the whole point of the seminar. It's not like they're going to learn absolutely everything they need to know about Social Security. And it's not like they're going to understand everything you say, like, that was great, I don't need anything, I can totally do it myself. The point of it is you're going to be educating them to build credibility, but at the same time, they still want to visit with you and they still need you. So the whole point of the seminar is an interviewing process. There's going to be people in the room that say, I like Ralph, I like him. How do you say your name again?
Arama.
Yeah, Arama.
It's all right.
it's
like Bolivar.
It's like Oliver, yeah, there we go. That's the Texas version, Oliver. So they'll say, I like Arama, he's a cool guy, I could see myself working with him, right? And a lot of it comes down to you as a person. And like, both of you would be really great about this, and that's why Ryan's good and I'm good at it too, because we actually do want to help people and we're good people. And people can sense that. So you get a big room of people in there that, like, they'll say, half of them say, I want an opportunity to sit down with this person. That's mainly what it is, right? So in your first few workshops, you should be able to book, at least a handful of appointments. As you get better and better and better, then you'll be able to book a lot more appointments. And then when you actually sit down with people, you'll be able to help them further. And then you'll actually be able to close and help them with the business processing, right?
Yeah.
But you always have to give yourself, I tell agents, 10 workshops. And the average cost of a workshop is about $3,000, and that's in today's dollars, and in the future, it'll probably be more. But that's incredibly inexpensive. Because for $3,000, if you get 25 people or 30, let's say you got 30 people there for $3,000, about $100 a head. And that's very inexpensive for the opportunity to help somebody with an annuity or a big life insurance sale or something along those lines. Even if you're selling Medicare, right? That's another opportunity. If you're in Medicare and you really know that intricately, you can do a Medicare workshop, right? And then back sell the long-term care and the life insurance and all the other ancillary lines there. But for $3,000, that's why we developed this program, is because everything else, I've tried virtually all the other seminar programs out there. The average cost I was spending was nearly $6,000 at a public venue without any food. And now I've done it at restaurants and it was like $12,000 to $15,000. I was like, okay, why is it so much money? If I could develop a system that actually works, has been proven, and agents can get access to it for $3,000 a workshop, and the majority of that goes to the Facebook ad spend, and the rest of it goes to cover our costs and our time, that would be amazing. It's half the cost as the industry. And if you can get 20 to 30 people in there for $3,000, that's a deal of a lifetime. Or you can go out and buy mailers and all these other different programs and spend $6,000 to $8,000 and they have the same amount of people there. So we do it very inexpensively. And that allows you to scale. Because when you're doing the workshops, you don't want to just do one and then be like, oh, okay, it wasn't for me. No, if you're going to actually try it, you need to commit to it and book out at least what we recommend, 6 workshops. 2 per month for 3 months, so 2 per month for a quarter. Now, after that quarter, if you have absolutely zero business, no one's ever sat down with you, maybe this business isn't for you, okay? However, what you'll find is like the first couple, you won't get that many people. But as you get better and better, more and more people will start booking on your calendar. Like, I used to have an average booking rate of like 40% of the people, the attendees wanted to meet with me. And then it went to 50, then 60, 70, 80, 90. Now we're averaging, nearly the entire room says that they want to book an appointment with us, right? Out of those people that say they want to, we're going to meet with basically 70% of them within the next 2 weeks. Out of that 70%, you should be closing at least 30% of them, right? Okay. So if you think of it, it's like, okay, if I run a workshop, I spend $3,000, and let's say I have 30 people there, right? I'm probably going to sit down or have a commitment of 20 people that want to sit down. Out of those 20 people that want to sit down, I'll probably sit down with like 15 of them. Out of those 15, I should be able to make 3 or 4 sales, right? Ideally. And it could be small. It could be just a Medicare enrollment. It could be an ancillary product like cancer, heart attack, stroke. And then it could be long-term care, or it could be a big annuity. You never know. I remember one time I ran a workshop and I literally gave it 3 days of marketing and booked the venue. I spent $1,500 on it. I was like, I'm just going to shoot this in the dark, whatever. It's all good. I ended up rolling nearly $3 million from that one workshop. Oh, it was awesome. Now, that doesn't happen every time, right? There's other times where I've spent, like on that dinner seminar, it was literally $12,000, and I made $13,000 back in commissions. I was like, okay,
Sounds
well,
about right.
At least you covered your costs.
I covered the cost,
Why?
but that was not
the
good.
point of it, right?
And that was when I was kind of newer too, so I wasn't as good. And so that's the other thing too. We tell agents like, look, when you're starting off in the seminar business, whether it's with us or somebody else, don't overspend, because they're going to try to get you to spend all the money that you can on these programs. But until your first few, even if you did a workshop at like $2,500, right? That's the lowest that we recommend. You might only have 15 people there, but it's a lot easier to look stupid in front of 15 than 40, right? Yeah. So get your feet wet, do smaller workshops, build it up to a larger audience, and then you'll have more success over it. It takes time, but it's totally worth the investment.
So you recommend 2 a month initially is kind of a go-to.
Yeah, you want to do 2 a month for a period of 3 months. So like 2 months for a quarter, basically. And what you'll notice is if you keep doing that consistently, like at least 2 per month, you'll have a full calendar. Okay. Now I'll show you an example here of my calendar. And most of this is all from the seminar business, right? So we click on this here. I mean, every single, if you look at like last week, you see there, look at that. It's completely jammed. I can go back any week you want and you can see that. Look how many appointments that is every single week. Okay. I don't have stress about seeing people. I know I have plenty of it. And that's the biggest stressor in this business. It's like, if you wake up and you have an empty calendar, that sucks. And then you're going to get what's called commission breath. So when you do finally get somebody coming in there, you're just like gung-ho, happy, you're like a little puppy dog, right? Yeah. You need to be calm, collective, and confident. And by having a full calendar, if somebody says, you know, Roy, now's just not the right time, I need to think about it. I need to talk to my wife or my husband. No problem at all. Call me when you're ready. Okay. It reduces the stress dramatically, and it makes you not be pushy to people. Nobody wants to be pushed into it. If you do your best, you explain Social Security and you explain the other products, they're either going to buy it or they're not, right? And I always default back to the old Northwestern Mutual rule, which is 10 people of interest, 3 will probably be serious, 1 will probably buy. 10, 3, 1. So this business is really simple. How do I get 10 people to sit in front of me, right? Well, if you do 1 workshop, you probably get close to 10. Maybe you need to do 2 workshops, okay? So you do 2 workshops, that's $6,000 to have 10 people that actually sit with you, okay? 3 of them will be really serious, but then you may get 1 that actually does something. But 1 deal, maybe it's a $500,000 rollover and you make $40,000 in commission, okay? Well, that was worth the $6,000 all day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's different ways that you can mentalize this business and map it out. Like as agents say, well, I want to make $1 million this year in revenue. Cool. I can show you exactly how to do it. But are you actually going to do the work? That's the biggest thing. Yeah. Is that I think this is the laziest industry in the planet, because most agents don't want to do the extra work, the time, or they're too scared to invest in themselves. They'll go out, they'll buy like a watch or something instead of putting it into the seminar business. Don't get me wrong. I'm not very fancy. I wear boots and jeans and shirts that I get on sale at Cavender's, right? I do have, Rolexes because I really like watches, but I didn't get those for a long period of time. I waited till I had plenty of other assets. But the point of me saying that is most agents will spend their money without investing back into their business. Like what we do here, even with our revenues, I mean, we reinvest nearly 60% of the total revenue back into the business, right? And the other like 20, 30% goes like payroll expenses, everything. We're investing like everything back into it. Like I don't take out very much. I want to keep growing the business. And if you can do that and you can, stomach, hey, this seminar business, if I mentalize this, we tell agents like $25,000. Here's the worst case scenario. You get a tax deduction, okay? Because they're actual business expenses. Okay, the worst case scenario. But that $25,000 is going to teach you more than any college education will ever teach you for this practice, right? And during that $25,000, it's almost impossible for you not to at least break even. And even if you broke even, it's still worth doing another $25,000 investment. And when I'm saying $25,000, I'm breaking that down to roughly 9 workshops, right? Because after you do your first 10, you're going to be confident. You're going to walk in there like, this is nothing. I know how to do it. And the fortunate part is we've already made all of the mistakes, spent all the money the wrong way, and I've been doing it for years now, and we've run hundreds and hundreds of workshops collectively, and we have dozens of agents running these same workshops, and we have a system now. So you get to plug right into that system like, okay, here is the speaker guide. Like literally we had an agent, never did a workshop, got the basics of Social Security down, and then read the speaker notes. He's like, how many times should I read it? I was like, well, I mean, depends on your comprehension level, but I would say at least 5 times, minimum, right? Because just you want to internalize this. And I'm not a big fan of scripts, but you want to get the gist of it, and then you can add your own style to it. So this agent read it like 25 times. I was like, wow, that's impressive. And did his workshop, and he absolutely crushed it. It was amazing, right? So we give you all of these resources, tools, what to bring to the workshop, what type of snacks, what color paper to use, why do we use a pencil versus a pen, why do we use Fiji water, why do we use Costco snacks. There's a whole psychology and reasoning behind it, and it works for us. I'm not saying it's the best system or the perfect system, but hey, you know what? Most of the agents that are doing this full-time are writing $10 million a year in annuity premium. That's pretty cool, right? That's about $700,000 a year in revenue. They're happy with that. Now you can scale it up and do even more like we've done, but then you need assistants, you need staffing, you need an office, then your overhead gets a lot higher. But those are great challenges to have, right? Like we're working with another group now to bring on another processor, and it's another huge expense. Like every time you bring on somebody else to the organization, you're looking at another $100,000. But then you justify it. It's like, okay, will this $100,000 allow me to make at least $200,000? Can I double my money on this investment? And if the answer is yes, it's totally worth it. But one of the big things about the workshops that you have to have somebody come there with you. You will see Ryan's mom today. My mommy comes with me, okay? So maybe your mom is either not able to or whatever, or maybe they're not around anymore, depending on how old you are. You have somebody come with you, like your wife, a cousin, an assistant. Somebody comes with you to the workshop. You don't want to be the guy setting everything up and greeting somebody's hands, signing them in, right? Because that reduces your credibility and your perception. 10 minutes. That reduces your credibility and your perception because you're doing it all. The way that we do it, as you'll see today, it looks very professional. They're going to come in, they're going to see Annie, Ryan's mom. They're going to be like, hi, Annie. Annie's like, she's sweet. She goes, oh, hey, honey, how are you? Yeah, you're checking in. Oh, good to see you, blah, 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 right? And then Ryan will come up on the stage or in front of the class, do his little talk. And then afterwards, when people fill out their collection forms, he's going to give them back to Annie, right? His mom. And then Annie is going to call them. And she'd be like, hey, it was great seeing you at the workshop. I see here that you want a Social Security report. You have questions about Roth conversions, whatever it may be. I can get you with Ryan this week at Monday or Tuesday. What's good for you? Blah, blah, blah. She has a relatability and the connection. Think of it this way. Put yourself in their shoes. Like if you go to see your doctor, do you think your doctor is the guy checking you in at the front desk? Is he the guy, going over there and taking your measurements and all that stuff? No, he's not, right? All the front staff and then the nurses or whatever, the PAs, they're doing all that work. He comes in there and sees you for what, like 5 minutes, writes you a prescription and then bounces, okay? You want to have that perception. If you were going to a financial seminar and you were curious about retirement income planning, and there's one person there and they're doing all of the work, doing everything, and they're calling you to book a time, how busy do you think they really are, right? How good do you think they are? So there's a lot of psychology behind this. Even if it's a friend that's just helping you out, that's fine. Just have somebody there. Like we have another agent, he's a great guy, but he's doing them by himself. Like, dude, you got to have somebody there, right? It will help you dramatically. And you'll get to see that whole process. But one of the most important things about doing a seminar is you have to know what you're talking about. And that only makes sense. We've had agents run a Social Security seminar and couldn't even tell you what a spousal benefit was. I'm like, how did you even do it? Like, you just
what did you talk about?
Yeah, what did you talk about,
I'm right here.
Yeah, that's true. So one of the foundations and the downsides to doing seminars is you really have to know what you're talking about. Now, a lot of agents will do like taxes and retirement or Roth conversions. Those are harder. You get somebody to ask you a question about taxes or, conversion rules and everything. I mean, you have to know that stuff intricately. Social Security is not that hard to learn. It just takes this rare quality that most agents don't have called effort. If you spend the time, like if you read that book that I wrote on Social Security and you watch YouTube videos or you earn a professional designation like the RSSA or NSSA, you'll learn a ton about Social Security. And that's a great door opener because everyone's trying to get their money. It's like financial advisors, like realtors. Everyone knows a realtor. Everyone knows a financial advisor. But you come in there with a different approach saying, hey, look, I'm an absolute expert in Social Security, Medicare. People have a need for that. It's the biggest draw. That's why Social Security workshops are inexpensive to run versus others. And you get bigger audiences Because if I'm 64 and I'm turning 65 in 3 or 4 months and I'm not working, right, or I work at a small employer, or even if I work at a big company, people still have questions. They have to make a decision on Medicare. Do I sign up for Part A? Do I have to? Do I have to Part B? What's the penalties? What about my prescription drug plan? That's why they want to see you, right? You are the expert. Now, even with Chat GPT and the internet, people still want to communicate with people. Now, 20 years from now, who knows? With this new generation, it'll probably be all internet-based. But for now, we're in this golden age. We have the largest demographic ever created, the baby boomers, all needing help, right? So you come in there with help with Medicare and the Social Security, 2 mandatory options that they have to choose at one point in time. And you're the solution to that. You can explain everything. That gives you huge credibility and value. Even if they have a best friend who's a financial advisor, they're probably not going to go over Medicare and Social Security, and especially long-term care, right? So a lot of agents say, well, they already have an advisor, so I'm not going to sell an annuity. That's fine. Maybe an annuity is not for them. It's not for everyone, okay? It really isn't. But what about helping them with long-term care? You think their advisors really helping them with long-term care? 99.9% of them are not. So then you have an opportunity to help them with long-term care. And then you can sell them Medicare and all the other ancillaries. Even if you did the workshops at $3,000 and you only sold Medicare, you get all your money back. I mean, you're paid for what? An average of 7 years or something, as long as they keep the plan with you.
Yeah.
Some of them are lifetime. So you still have that lifetime value there.